Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with Tuscola's International Men of Mystery, Mike Carroll, and Bill Englehart.
Wonder how long you worked on that.
That's a long time.
I just came up with it just on the fly.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's real good.
That's not a pun though. It's true.
No, it's not. No, well, a lot of people don't know this. Mike is a comic genius.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I don't know it. Nobody else knows it.
A lot of people don't know it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they've seen his routine.
Yeah.
You know, I was at a football game on Friday night. I was visiting with friends, Bob Taylor, Denny Wong. They didn't call Mike a comic genius.
They just called me a genius.
They, yeah, they called you a genius.
When I left the Army, Colonel Phelan said Mike Carroll was either born too early in life or born too late in life because he's sure not with it. Yeah. Well, Denny Long said, old Villa Grove guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had a great conversation at football. Football games are great for social events.
And Bob Taylor blames me for a lot of his dating misadventures in Arthur, and it's not my fault.
No, I'm sure it's not.
What did I do?
Well, anything else going on?
Bill, you know anything?
Yes, I do. And I think we should comment on this program about that because someday they'll look back and they'll go, my goodness, what a team that cross country team was. Mm-hmm. And fantastic. They won the regional cross country meet. Now they're going to the sectional at Decatur, and hopefully they'll move on from there and
can they win the state?
Take it all. Yes, people say they can take it. What a fine young bunch of men. Boy, they're just done so well.
See them running the streets of town every day.
Every day in the summer, they've worked so hard, and it's the fruits of their labor are coming forth. I see the Foltz boys already signed with Southern.
Let me ask you a question, Bill. Are you glad that you got hooked on golf instead of cross country?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I coached cross country 1 year.
Yeah.
That was I kind of enjoyed it. I really did.
Well, they talk about the runner's high. You know, you get the endorphins kick in after a while, and really is a good feeling.
Yeah, they're a great group, and the girls team advanced too.
Yeah, they're good. They're good kids.
They're good kids.
Yeah, all those cross country guys are.
And we also wish the football team good luck down in Belleville.
They got to play a powerful 8-1 team.
Mm-hmm. Very powerful.
Wow.
So good luck, Warriors.
Nothing to lose. Give it all. Leave it on the field.
We've heard it before, haven't we?
Yeah, we left it there, didn't we?
We left it.
That's why we're just a bunch of old sacks of flesh and bone. We left way too damn much on the field.
And when they said leave it out there on the court, and we ran those balcony laps, no wonder we're screwed up.
We actually believed
we believed it.
And Murray.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Gene.
It's a quick commercial break, and we'll get to the old pictures. We digitize, as you know, just for the. I think anyone watching this knows we digitize old photos from the newspaper archives every week, and we have digitized probably about 2,500 of them so far, and share them on the Remembering Tuscola Facebook page, and then we share them on the webcast. So if you enjoy the old photos, consider a subscription to the newspaper. The newspaper owns the Remembering Tuscola site. It owns the webcast. They are what allows us to do this. They pay my salary. And so that's how we pay.
Do they pay our salary?
I missed my check.
I was just going to tell you, I just got it approved today. We are going to double your salary.
Okay. Because we were about ready to walk out.
Yeah. So rest assured, Mike, we are going to double your salary effective today.
So instead of being odd, I'll be double ought.
Right.
I'll be double ought 7.
That's right. That's your international man of mystery.
Hey, David, do you have to be on Facebook to look at these pictures, Remembering Tuscola?
Well, it didn't used to be, but I think now you have to have an account. However, the webcast is on YouTube.
Okay.
So you can see them on, if you just
Well,
do
I
a
was
Google
thinking
search
about,
for,
Bill and I don't do Facebook well. In fact, we don't do Facebook.
We don't do anything
We don't do
with the
anything.
computer.
I never wanted to be on Facebook because two reasons. I didn't want to hear what people said about me, and number two, I didn't want to be defriended every day. That crush your self-esteem.
yeah.
People go out of their way to defriend me. People don't even know what defriend me.
Well, they have to friend you first.
Well, they'd friend me briefly just to defriend me. I mean, I'm telling you, there'd be a national movement.
I'd
I'd be
been
like Matt Gates.
waiting for you to get on Facebook just so I could defriend you.
I know. No, all the time I was state attorney and a judge, I never wanted to know. I didn't care what people. I know people are talking about me. I just didn't want to hear it. If I don't hear it, maybe it's good.
See, that's
Well, I think it was good.
that's where you and I differ, Mike, because I know people are not talking about me, and I wish they were.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you run a newspaper back when you were writing that newspaper. I think you got talked about a little bit. David, this. Let me just say this with the new newspaper, which is county newspaper. I think it's doing well. You're doing a good job pulling it together, David. You ought to be thankful for it. I know this is the economics of the situation. You're making the best of it. I think you're doing a good job. But it points up all the more reason to be doing this, remembering Tuscola, and you digitize these pictures, because with the death of individual towns, newspapers, the history gets even more important. And so we do have a repository.
To subscribe, go to www.thecounty-chronicle.com.
Did you
And
write that down?
I got it memorized.
the thing is, when it comes to these, like Bill mentioned, the sports achievements, and a lot of that stuff gets posted online, and you can see it and you can enjoy it, but it gets lost. It disappears. It's awfully hard to find a year later or 10 years later or 20 years later, but you can always go to the newspaper and find it. And so the newspaper does chronicle the history
I like that.
of the community.
That's a good way to put it.
I like you sliding that word in. That's good.
Yeah,
Right.
good way to put it.
All right.
I still like your idea of calling the paper.
Well, I got outvoted.
That's did they vote it based on shares of ownership in the paper?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your no votes got outvoted by 1,000.
There's only one vote that mattered.
Yeah.
It wasn't mine.
I thought it was a good pun idea. Hey, have you read the paper? That was a good idea. But genius isn't always appreciated, and trust me.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
A prophet is a stranger in his own town.
I just read that yesterday on something.
Yeah.
We're ready to go.
Ready to roll.
And let me see if I can find some pictures for us to look at.
That'd be good. You did 300 of them last night. You ought to get a couple of.
Okay. Here's
boy.
Yeah,
We got these.
well, we've got some of them.
Yeah.
For sure. The two gentlemen are the coaches, I suppose, for Biddy basketball. The Oilers as a team. That's Bob Crossman on the left.
Right.
And that's George Leonard. The other coach.
Right.
Steve's dad.
That's Eaton in the back.
That's Randy Eaton.
Mark Kleiss.
Carlos
Kleiss.
Dennis Chaplin.
Denny Chaplin. Who's holding the Oilers?
Well, seeing as how it's Bob Crossman, maybe it's his son, Dan. Maybe.
I wonder if that is Dan Crossman.
I don't know. But now, where's Steve Leonard in this picture?
Well, Steve's not there. He's a big, tall, strong guy.
Well, that's the way we think of him, as a big, strong.
Oh, guy. I guess he started out as a baby, didn't he?
Yeah.
Alan Patton says these are guesses, no guarantee. Front row, left to right: Dennis Chaplin, Dan Crossman, Mark Kleiss, Alan Patton. Back row: Randy Eaton or Cliff Kleiss. Andy Kleiss. Coaches: Bob Crossman, George Leonard.
Hey, we had them all except for most of them.
No, you know what? We didn't get Alan Patton.
Didn't get Alan Patton.
Al Patton, voice of the Warriors.
Yeah, real history.
For years.
History buff. Really likes sports.
Yeah. Al's, what a great guy.
Didn't get Cliff Kleiss.
No.
I know this next one.
Okay. Oh, that's Mr. Pancow.
That's Harold and Martha Pancall with
Mhm.
two
Looks like
older.
a 58 Chevy back there.
And that's about a 58 Oldsmobile.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the Catholic Church.
So this is
steps.
probably not before 58.
Well, some of these pictures are 58 and some of these are 61, I think.
Oh, that's 58.
So that would be Linda Scribner, the little one on the
Yeah.
right. And I think is Mike the oldest?
I'm not for sure.
And they had a third one, and I'm sorry if I get the name wrong. I think it's Mark, but I could be wrong.
I think you're right. It was Mark.
So that's the Pancalls.
Mm-hmm.
Live out there on 36.
Yep. Next to where Gary Lytle lived. And I think Kim still lives out there.
Yeah, that's east, slightly north. The old Methodist Church now, Eagle Mountain.
Eagle Mountain. This is
Like
what Methodist Church. This is
57, 58 Ford there.
What's
the
that friend? Is that
southeast.
Ford? It's Ford.
No, which one?
That's
Here?
in dark.
No, that's a Dodge maybe.
Is it? You
Dodge
can still
Chrysler.
see the school.
There's your lot.
Yeah, there I am.
Yeah, this could have been your house. You could have built a replica of the Methodist Church right over there.
Right over there.
Small version.
Smaller.
That's where the old Riley Pool Hall burned
That
down.
was,
Seniors.
yeah.
Riley. My dad used to shoot the pool there. It looks like a 58, either Plymouth or DeSoto or Dodge. They all were similar. They had that flying fin thing.
Rosie's 3-story building.
Beautiful Romanesque arches there on Rosie.
There's your old building, Corn Belt, right?
Corn Belt Savings and Loan. The Caldwell brothers ran that for years, and I bought that. Had ex-wife had a little gift shop, little shop on the prairie.
That was CC, one time that in the mid-30s, that's CC Romines Pool Hall. And that's where the infamous Burmeister murder
Well, I was
started.
My dad would be back at playing cards, and whenever he babysit, I got to go to the pool hall. And I remember as a young boy, in the middle of a heated game of pool, I just reached up and grabbed the ball as it was rolling.
That's a good idea.
And I became educated real quick.
No wonder you won all the games.
Yeah. Well, I got educated real quick by bigger guys.
Oh, I bet.
So I never grabbed a ball since then.
Yeah. Ever grab a ball when
there's the mayor.
Shooting?
There's the mayor.
Oh,
on the
Mayor
right.
Jones.
Mayor Jones. Sonia Reese.
Susan
Burris Atkinson. And is that a Stinger? Who is that? No, who is that?
No, but she looks familiar.
Yeah.
I want to say she had brothers. I can't think of her name.
Christine?
No.
Mayor Jones looks good in that picture, and he looks like he's handing out he's buying votes.
Mayor Jones in that picture even looks like W.C. Fields.
Well, he was close.
He was right there.
Everybody liked Mayor Jones.
Oh, yeah. The mayor.
Drove a little Metropolitan. Looked like a clown car going around town.
Mm-hmm.
The girl on the right selling poppies is Rena Matthews Kane.
I'll be darned.
On the left, she says is Alice Northway.
Well,
the Northway boys. Yeah. Dale Northway.
Yeah.
And something else significant about this picture.
Well, they're in the Hotel Douglas looking out.
They're inside the Hotel Douglas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever seen another picture taken from inside.
Well, that's a room, and there's the radiators. What's it, Kurt? No, that was behind. Wasn't there a room? Wasn't the room behind the where the haircut place back to the north?
Yes.
Man, I think this is it.
I think that's it.
It looks like I'm not sure. There's some kind of lamp on the table. Is that somebody sitting in the back in a chair?
Well, he rented a room.
Yeah, I guess they just, stopped in on a tenant and.
Yeah, there's that pipe going up with the.
Oh
boy, this is my class. This is Lonnie Von Lincoln on the right. Go ahead.
Well, Mike Pangburn in the middle.
Mike Pangburn. Lonnie was Nick. There is Barbara.
Weber.
Was it Barbara?
I don't believe so. Yeah.
And I don't think she was a classmate on the left.
No.
Pangburn was a tackle in football, just a great guy. Everybody liked Mike. Nick was tremendous athlete.
Captain of the basketball team 2 years and running.
Right. Probably would have been all-state in football, but his dad was a farmer and Nick had to argue hard just to play two sports.
Yeah.
Dad didn't want him to play any because there was farming to do. But he let Lonnie play two, and he picked track, which he was great in.
Lonnie got to be
And
captain of the basketball team. It was easy. We had no vote. Lonnie said, "I'll be captain." Okay, that's
Well,
good enough.
Who's going to argue?
No one was going to say anything different.
Even Fortney Gibson didn't argue with him.
No.
I made the mistake of arguing with him one time.
Yeah, that was not good.
I'll never do it again. Like that.
Well,
So did you
are.
get all of them here?
Yeah, we didn't get the lady on the left.
No, we didn't get the lady on the left.
Barb married
Rick
from
Graham.
class of 64. Rick's a nice guy. One of
I'm not-
Delbert's
I'm not seeing the
boys.
name of the lady on the left.
No.
I don't know what that was
No.
for. But that looks like our senior year, so that's 64, 65. I can't read. Is that FFA?
It says the United States of America at the top. That's all I can make out.
There's no Constitution. Came through town.
Now, we should know that boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
But we don't.
He's probably from
That's Hugo.
Hugo.
Everything's from Hugo.
Everything's from Hugo. We don't know. Okay, Bill is your class.
Now hey, Becky.
Becky, this class is 66.
I know one of these guys.
Let's see if Becky can name all of her class. Let's see if Becky
Guy
can
in the
name her
back
class.
row in the far left.
Here you go. Becky, can you name? Here you go. Where you at?
No, I can't name any of them.
Okay.
There's Bill, Johnny Beatty, Greg Skinner, Mark Bright, Alvin Cohen, Gary Brewer, Butch Dietrich, is that Johnny Lester?
Yeah, Johnny Lester.
Bill Stallsworth,
Paul Vogel.
Paul Vogel, and Doug Rice.
There you go.
85.
Attaway,
There
Becky.
we go.
Atta girl.
So that was Becky's dementia test, and she passed.
That's class of 66
Yeah.
at some sort of sports banquet. Notice the way the young men are all dressed.
Yeah, that's the way they expect you to be.
Tie on.
Beatty, who we saw last week in a sports coat, didn't wear one.
Yeah, well,
Rick took it probably.
probably.
And what can you do?
They took it from him.
What
Yeah,
can you do?
yeah.
Good bunch of guys. This is class of 60. Let me see here, 3, I think. And
That's Jack Holmes.
yeah, it is. And then this is across the county, I think. But on the right, if you slide that just a little bit,
This might be something like
This is SAR.
SAR. Oh, look at here.
Jimmy
That's
Strange.
Jim Strange.
Jimmy Strange from Arcola's on the right. There you go.
Talked to Jim at a golf meet this year. He's still coaching down at Altamont. He was a principal at Altamont High School.
His brother, Ronnie, Bill and I played a lot of golf with Ronnie, passed away a few years ago. Third one in, can you blow that up a little bit, David, is Mike Kyle from Tuscola. This looks like the SAR awards or something, or some kind of these are all scholars and good guys.
And then the
The
third one from the left
is Jack Holmes
That's Jack Holmes, Bill Grove.
from Pillar Grove.
What a golfer.
He was Brent Holmes, lawyer in Mattoon, and Jeff Holmes, the editor of the Villa Grove paper.
That's her older brother.
That's their older brother, Jack, who was a heck of a golfer. But these are across the Douglas County, I think. So I don't know
Kyle,
this.
third from right.
Mike Kyle, third from right.
Randy Boggle, second from left, from Arthur.
Vogel.
Randy Bogle, where's he from?
Arthur.
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 Jack Holmes, and then we got Jimmy Strange.
We did pretty well on that.
Yeah.
And that was the fire escape at the North Ward. You slid down into a pile of bricks, and nobody ever wanted to go out it.
They left that up all year round.
That's a beautiful building, wasn't it?
Yeah. And very special.
Yeah, your house would have been right down here at the left edge.
Thank you. Yes. And yours is right here on the right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle now has a,
We could have left that slide thing up.
I think kids could play on it.
Must have been doing a little work in there.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, this is 58. This on the right
Oh,
is
my goodness.
on the right is Gary Chaplin. I think that's Phil Flanagan,
Willie.
Willie, and then Coach Bukovich. I think that's Cliff Green.
Cliff.
And there's Gunner Taylor, and I think is that Cox?
Cliff Burmeister.
Cliff Burmeister. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
That's a 58.
Is that track? I didn't know Bucko coached track. I suppose he had to.
Well, you had to do something to make his living.
Did you get all of them? Did you get Cliff Green?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we got Cliff Green was the left of Bucko.
Yeah, they got on
The oldest of the Green brothers. Gunnar Taylor just passed away a couple years ago, and Cliff Burmeister. Wow, there's a name from the past.
Yeah.
Gary Chaplin's from the great Chaplin family, all those kids. This looks like Ida's gift shop.
Whoa. Ida's gift shop was on Route 36.
Across from the.
I don't think this is Ida's gift shop.
Could that be the hill? Could that be the house that you were going to be a caretaker of?
This is, I was caretaker. I think this is inside the Irvin house.
Irvin house, you were going to be caretaker of it. They had quite a glass collection.
I was caretaker for 3 years. I lived
really?
in this house for 3 years.
Did you take care of it?
Well, I lived in it. That was my only job, was to sleep there at night.
Is this a front door or side door?
No, that's a side door, it looks like.
That's a side door. This would be, this window would be off the sitting room, the parlor. And they
This is looking south, isn't it? She's going out south.
Yeah. So when McGuire's owned it, they took this window out, I think, and put a door there maybe, or moved the window or something.
Yeah.
Then where she's going is there would be another porch. This is kind of an enclosed porch, and then it would go to another porch, and then off to the little summer house. It was a little garden house, and she had quite a. I don't know if this is Pearl. I never met Pearl. Pearl died in the 70s, but that may be Pearl Wardall, but I can't be certain.
Well, they had very valuable glass collection that they wanted to donate to the Museum Association.
Yeah, it all ended up going to auction.
Well, the problem was Mr. Hill wanted to donate it. We thought he owned it. When we did title work, we found out he owned a half interest. The other half interest was a trust in Connecticut. And when I called out there, they said they had no interest in selling it. So we'd have wound up being a passive 1/2 interest owner and not being able to use it. That's the problem.
Now, Kidwell's own it now. And
yeah, they eventually they eventually closed the trust out and sold it. McGuire's Tom and Jan put a ton of money, made it beautiful. Tom's brother-in-law up in St. Joe. He came down, did a bunch of work on it. They did a great job. And then I think the Kidwells bought it from Tom and Jan. Well, that's the.
I know where this is.
On the corner of Ohio and Barker.
Yeah. So this would have been taken basically in front of the house I grew up in. So, but probably before that house was built. My dad built that house in 1965. And
you lived to the south of that?
I lived like where the photographer's standing. I lived behind the photographer.
Yeah, you lived across the street to the west, middle of the block, right?
Middle of the block.
And across the street to the north was Gary Forster's. And then I think the rest of the houses were built by Wayne Carnine.
Yeah, these were Carnine had these houses, then Foltz's lived.
Foltz was right up on the corner. Foltz's were on the corner
across the street. Corner of this house, and the little house back here in the background on the left. I can't think of the name of who lived there at the time, but that was my neighborhood. So it has changed a lot. There's a carport built here, and it looks like I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they had some damage here. It looks like the house next to it's got a tarp on the roof, and
Yeah,
You know, we had a tornado one time come through that area.
about 62.
Yeah, it was a mini tornado thing that did some damage.
David, I think Carnine wound up putting hip roofs on all those flat roof. I think that one had a hip roof added to it.
Could be, I don't
Yeah.
know.
There was a tornado in 78 or 9 that went right down Carico Street. Pulled up a tree by Jack Allen's, buckled the roof on Bank Hall,
Went to the trailer court.
and pulled some trailers up in the air.
Yeah.
That could have been. How old is this one? You know, this got to be earlier than
Like I
78.
said, most of these pictures are either 58 or 61.
So this is not that tornado or
When
whatever it was.
when I lived in this neighborhood, the family named Anderson lived in this brick house.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Looks like 58s or 59s. Looks like Murray back there with, can you zoom in on the 4 guys? Bucko,
That is Murray.
Murray,
Bucko.
and there's Junior Barbie sitting in the back seat.
That is.
In the back seat with his arm up is
Oh,
Floyd Barbie.
Isn't
Junior
that
Barbie.
great?
Yeah,
is that not great?
good old Floyd.
Gee, many.
So he graduated, that had to be 59 then.
Well, there was a parade of elephants in town. I don't have any names on this one. I thought
Well,
people
Harold Hackett.
recognize the names.
Well, later years, but
Yeah.
this would have been early. That's in front of the old jail. Or where is that?
Well, I'm looking. No, that's not the old jail, I don't think.
Sure.
No, I don't think so.
I think it is. If you went
I
around
don't
that.
know.
There
I
were
don't have any
steps.
names on that one either.
There's Glenn Pugh. Right there.
Could be, yeah, could very well be Glenn.
The boy
Glenn
looking,
Pugh, Bill McCord says Glenn Pugh, right of the flag,
Yeah,
staring
yeah,
right at us.
with his hands behind his back.
Parade
yeah.
rest, parade
Parade
rest.
rest.
He knows what it's like to be in the military.
Yeah, he went in the military, Air Force, speed reader. Glenn was a good young man. Ran behind Stu Carmack in the mile.
Everybody ran behind Stu.
Everyone ran behind Stu, except Dyke Sterrett.
Guy Sterrett got him from Monticello.
Glenn just passed away not that long
Did he?
ago. Yeah.
I'll be darned. Well, you know the wax here? I think they're from Hugo.
I think all of them were from Hugo. Next.
This one says from Kathy Hanners, your mom, Nancy Hanners, second from right.
Oh yeah,
Really?
It looks.
Yeah.
It has looks like her.
Elisha's mom.
Yeah.
Boy, there we go.
Okay. This is the new high school, probably. Okay, there we go. We got some. That's Danny Gore, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
it might be Danny Gore.
And that's yeah. This is 61, I think. Class of 61.
I was
There's
gonna
Roy.
say 61.
Second row, 1, 2, 3. Second row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Roy Leeds. 61 or 62.
Bernie Stabler.
Dennis Hanners in the back. Fourth one in. Gardner, second one in.
Lloyd
Gardner.
Anderson.
Lloyd Anderson was 61. That Rex Bridges at the very end.
I don't know. Can't tell on that.
There's
I was trying to think who the marshals are.
it's like Jim Manwaring, or
Looks like Kurt Turner almost.
let's look at that front row again here real quick. Just leave it there for a second if you can. That's Lane, the oldest Lane boy. There was David Lane.
Yeah. David Lane.
Got
That is Danny Gore. You're right.
Danny Gore, 61, and Kitty Keith should be in this picture. These are all guys though. This is class of 61.
You notice they're well behaved.
It'd be Jim Fortney back there next to Lloyd Anderson.
I don't know.
Where are the girls at? There's Judy Wright is that Judy Wright playing the piano?
Don't know. Can't tell.
I think so. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, on the left is Browning,
Francis Brown.
Francis Browning, Teresa Little, Bonnie Powell,
Phil Schultz.
Phil Schultz,
Miss Sluss.
Matthews.
Billy Matthews. Charlie Cooley.
That's Clarence Connor,
Clarence. Janice Oaks.
Janice Oaks, and Miss Sluss, giving out the Latin Award.
Miss Sluss.
Harriet Sluss.
How'd we do?
I think you got them.
I think we got them.
Oh, there they are, Carl Court and Ross.
Carolyn.
Carolyn Ross.
Carolyn lives west of town in the old home place.
She came back home, huh?
Yeah, Andrea sees her at exercise class.
Just north of USI. Just north of USI. Lived out next to George Trout.
The old
Your old
virtual.
teacher.
Yeah.
Out next to George Trout.
I don't have a name on the woman.
Yeah. That was 60. This is my sister's class. On the left is that Nancy Breen, Nita Bozarth, Linda
Summerlot.
Sue Etzel. There's my sister right in the middle, looking down. Bobby Wyatt, Jim Manwaring,
Bob Wetzel.
and Pete Green, Dwayne Pete Green.
Pretty smart group of kids there.
Yeah, I never got to stand up there like my sister. My sister had all the photos.
Yeah, she was a hell of a lot better looking.
And you think a little smarter? I did graduate in the top 95% of my class. Okay, this is going to be a toughie. We should know her, but I don't. Familiar. You got a name on that?
I don't know her.
The one on the gown is Ellen Spencer of class of 61, according to Kate Donnelly, with Nancy Strader, who was a home ec teacher. And her father apparently was the shop teacher.
Oh, Wendell Schrader.
Pop Schrader's
Pop Schrader's wife. This must
daughter, or Pop Schrader's.
Well, this
Why?
is Strader with a T.
With the what?
Strader.
That's Hinesboro. That's the Straders out of Hinesboro.
That would be Hinesboro.
Yeah. Just close to Hugo.
And who's the girl?
The girl, she says, is Ellen Spencer.
Well, you
Spencer.
got us there.
This is National Honor Society.
Yeah.
Well, that's Miss Cox behind the podium.
Looks like a man wearing.
It does.
Or McCartney. Man wearing girl. Got a name on this one?
Not on the girl.
I think it's okay. There you go. That's a Breen on the right.
Is that Kay Dunn?
Well, I don't know if that's Kay Donnelly or not, but
I don't know.
that's Breen on the right. One of the Breen girls.
The oldest.
The oldest. This is 59, I think. Not sure about the girl on the left.
That's the only, I didn't have any names on that.
Oh, faculty.
Back row, second one in is Don Rumbly, my old basketball coach. There's Bucko in a Hawaiian sports shirt. Mr. Court leaning back there. There's Gene Maloney in the very back. Front row is Joe Meyer. Front row left is one of the great teachers in Tuscola. He's in the Eastern Hall of Fame.
Third one is Warren Lineberger.
Second one is the Wendell Schrader, Warren Lineberger.
Look sitting down here. There's Lita Whitaker. There's Ruby Mata. Dorothy Deere.
Far right, all the way down is Ruby Mata. Lucille Dickinson, Dorothy Deere, Miss Sluss, Miss Magnuson, Miss Strader. And maybe Warren Lineberger's wife, Dorothea.
That's Mrs. Helm, the librarian in there.
Yeah. Sweet lady. There's Van Vorst in the back, in the middle row, the chorus.
Right.
There's the French teacher, McManus, that passed away just last year. Middle row, second one in from the left is McManus, taught French.
Sandy? That doesn't look like Sandy. I guess it is, though, isn't it?
Yeah. There's Dorothy. 1, 2, 3, 4 is middle row.
Elizabeth Van Vorst.
Fifth one is Dorothea Lineberger. Excuse me. Don't know the next one. Miss Helm, librarian.
Wouldn't Miss Weaver be in there?
I'm looking for Miss Weaver. That's
Dorothy Weaver, I'm looking for.
That's pretty much the faculty back in 1961, 62.
Back in the day.
Top notch faculty.
There's Elizabeth Van Voris.
Now this is probably class of 60. Lower right, Carl Court. There's the middle green, Doug, the middle green boy. Is that Bill Alexander by any chance? And Heckler.
Can't tell.
Isn't that Heckler?
Terry Heckler.
Terry Heckler. Now the girls get a little tougher here.
Bob Butterback says mostly class of 61.
61. The fourth one in is Kitty Quiche from the right.
Boy, you're always able to find her.
Well, it's just a thing I have.
I think it was a thing you had.
I'm over it. I see Barb Moss, Barb Van Zandt there, I think.
Elizabeth
Kate-
Van Voris.
Oh yeah.
Had she been the basketball coach when we were playing, we might have won the state championship.
Yeah. Well, we won the state in chorus.
We won the state in chorus more than once, I think.
Yeah.
What a teacher.
There's Mr.
Hammock.
Harley Hammock,
Harley Hammock.
superintendent of schools. Lucille Dickinson. Not sure. Dorothea Meyer, Dorothy Lineberger, Warren Lineberger, Magnuson.
Gene Maloney, Joe Meyer,
And we got
move it.
move it over, Dave, so we can see who else we got there. Don
Don
Rumley
Rumley.
and the Strader woman from Hugo.
Was Harley Hammock superintendent?
Yeah.
then?
Yeah, he went to the state. He went all the way to the state to some high office. This is class of 62, but I think because the marshals are class of 63 behind them.
Mhm.
Front row is Marcia Strader,
Marcia Graham,
Jan Charneski, Allison Seed. Oh, come on.
I don't know.
One on the right might be McCaney. Left is Bobby Wetzel, Mark Bunning, John McDaniel. Come on. And then
That's Art Wilson.
Artie Wilson, Charlie Whalen, Jim Manwaring, and Howard Patterson.
Wow.
62.
Or no, is that David Wilson? David Wilson.
Yeah,
It's
Artie.
Carol's brother.
Yeah,
Remember?
yes.
She was in your class.
Yeah, he was a Wilson. Now there's a 61 group again. Fourth one after the left. I don't know why I recognize her as Kitty Quiche. It's just something about her shoes, I think.
Yeah, probably was.
One of the great graduates of all time, president of Furman University, Eastman Kodak vice president, head of director of the Patel Research Institute. Carl Court, great guy.
Wouldn't Dorothy Dear have loved to have seen the success of like Carl Court?
Oh man,
Man.
Dorothy Dear had some brilliant kids come out. Over the right, Charlie Whalen, Denny Hackett, Doug Green. That's a Dallas.
Oh gosh, dang.
Slightly,
Leroy Davis?
yeah, I think it's Leroy Davis.
Didn't he something attached with him and Hackett?
Yeah,
I
think you're right. Who's the gal? It's a little blurry. Is that
I don't know. Oh man.
I think the third one is Barb Van Zandt, Barb Moss,
Smile is like her.
Miss Maloney.
Magnuson.
Miss Magnuson taught typing. Is that Kay Donnelly or Kay Townsend
Don't
on the
know.
right?
Might be. I'm trying to think of
Oh,
who
wait,
that
that-
is right there.
Oh, that's one of the Corley twins.
Is it?
I think second one on the left looks like one of the Corley twins. You got names on these, David?
Nope.
I love this. Is,
Oh, There we go.
oh, there's, I think, is this Bobby Ard in the lower left?
Well, it looks like Bob Ard,
I just-
Dale Albin,
I just talked to Bob yesterday.
Kurt Turner,
Oh, you think that's Kurt?
or well, that's Kelly Williams.
That's Kelly Williams. And this is,
Don't know.
Come on, we know him.
Joe Kleiss,
Joe Kleiss
Bobby Stout,
and Willie Yoder.
Willie Yoder. Yeah.
Come on, we know this guy here. Upper left is, if I'm saying this right, looks like Denny Hackett again. Looks like Ron Kappas.
Kappas.
What's his name? Ran the parts store.
Raymond
Raymond
Kingery.
Kingery. Leroy Davis again.
Louis
Leeds.
Leeds.
Jim Weber.
Yeah.
Jim. There's Schrader
Pop Schrader.
and Russell Long on the right.
Russ Long.
Russ Long.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this guy, Louis, come on, we know this guy. He died early.
Well, like I said, I'm sitting there looking at.
Sam.
Oh, okay, Sam.
Oh,
I bet Bob Taylor's home yelling at us. You probably remember.
Bob, yell it through the screen so we can get your nice guy, Sam, somebody.
Yeah, that's great of those three,
Yeah.
Ard, Albin, and Kelly Williams.
Now we got the there's Jerry. I think the first one's Jerry Kyle on the left, and then Carolyn Ross. Looks like John Gernon. Third one in from the left. I'm not sure about that one.
Those are the twins.
These are the Corley twins on the right. Breen, the oldest, I think I could be wrong on that Breen, the oldest Breen
I
girl.
don't know. Sure don't know the teacher.
He wasn't there when we were there, was he?
Uh,
I say Jerry Kyle. That was Jerry. What was her maiden name? Maury Little. Jerry Little.
Very little. Charlie Whalen, Jane Rothgab, John McDaniel,
Mhm.
Bobby Wetzel. I think that's David Wilson.
Right.
John Gernon. And then who?
Ronnie Knapp.
Ronnie Knapp. How'd we do?
I think you got what I had on those. I had a lot of comments on that one.
Yeah, this is once again 63 class, I believe.
Here are the girls from the
Yeah,
Oh, there you go.
this is the girls from 61.
well, there's some guys in there.
Yeah, in the back, I see Court.
Yeah, that's all the way in the back court. And right next, who's David? Do you know who's sitting right next to court?
God.
I don't have any names on this one.
Well, let's look at the
Just look
picture.
at the picture right next to Carl.
We
Court
got
in the
him.
back. There's three people in white gowns. There's Carl Court, and then who's that?
Yeah. No wonder Carl Court was so smart.
Which one? The
Back row, you got it's our left, your right. You got three people in the white gown. You got Carl Court's the first guy, and the very one next to the Carl Court, you ought to know this guy.
that looks like Fred Holstein.
Fred Olson, your barber.
There you go.
There you go.
No wonder Court
Yeah, that's
was
Wendy.
smudging off of Fred.
Looks like Wendy Ron, Davis again, and that looks like keep sliding here a little bit. There's John Gernon. Yeah, keep going a little bit more. There's the Breen at the end. Now let's go the other way a little bit. Whoa, right. There's the Corley twins sitting in the second row by each other.
I think
Jerry Kyle, Ross, and then let's
that's Kay Donnelly there.
Yeah, let's do the front row now. Left to right. There's that man wearing girl. Not sure. Slide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then is Kay Donnelly, I think.
I know sometimes, and we apologize if we miss some because they look like someone else
Yeah.
or whatever.
That made up. If we're wrong, Bill apologizes. He's whispering in my ear here and getting me all messed up. That Bill's a troublemaker. Always has been.
Fred's son, Tom, looked just like him in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Slide. Let's see who the marshals are to the left there. Zero in on the whites there. That's Bobby. I think that's Bobby Wetzel on the left. And that's David Wilson on the right. I'm not sure who the girl in the middle is. Now go to the
great.
front row again.
Great picture.
Front row. Zero in the front row again. Slide the other way. Slide the other way. Who do you think the third one in from the left is, Bill?
I really, it's kind of foggy almost.
Even
me.
foggy, I think it's Kitty Quiche.
It could be, I'm looking at her foot, which is
Well, that's
turned
what I look at.
sideways.
Every time I look at Kitty,
Yeah, I know. I always
She
thought
had
it
a-
was her feet.
she was going to go to Paris and study fashion. So those are Prada shoes, sharp-toed Pradas. Great feet. Great toes.
Great.
There's looks like on the lower left-hand corner, looks like Jimmy Fortney, Don's
It
older
is.
brother, David Lane.
Yeah.
Carl Court, Wendy Ron. Left is Ross. The third one in, I think, is wild guess. I can't see
Yeah,
her
I think
feet.
that's Kitty Quiche.
I can't see her feet. It's Kitty Quiche. If I could just see her feet. Come on, we know the second one in too.
Well,
We know them all.
how-
Oh, that's Kath. Fourth one in looks like Kathleen Boylston. Right? Next
be.
to Kitty is Kathleen Boylston. And there's the great
Carl Court.
Carl Court. Won the state, and we won the state in band and chorus and everything. We had the best. It was the best.
Mhm.
And that's at the old high school. The old Northward High School was torn down.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
my
that's your
class.
class.
That's my class.
8th grade promotion.
We can
thing.
name them all. But it's got to zero in a little bit here.
I see Joe Caldwell at the end of the piano.
Let's go to the guys here. We can get the guys easy.
Roe Davis,
Roe Davis, Jimmy Allison,
Allison, Kirchner,
Mike Kirshner, Bobby
Bob
Rogers, Joe
Joe
Caldwell. There's Bill Hoke, Buddy Whalen, Steve Hooker's one of them. Second row,
Pat O'Loughlin's.
Pat O'Loughlin.
Yeah.
Jump up the second row for the guys. Is that John Palm?
That's John Palm.
Tom McDaniel, Stan McMorris,
Morris, Ronnie Dick.
maybe Ronnie Dick, Doug Carnine, Ronnie Clapp, maybe. Is that Maxwell Britton? Denny Shuey, Wayne Henniger. Jump up the
Pangburn,
next row up, left, right, Mike Pangburn,
Trotz.
Trotz Frieder, Alan Mitzner,
Danny Russell, Paul Reinhardt.
Paul Reinhardt, David Gardner, Bob Nunn, Gary Teak. Not sure.
Not sure.
Jump up the fourth row, right side, Ronnie Cooper, Joe Mendel, Chuck
Disher.
Disher. Not sure. Well, come on, that's Ronnie Wynn, maybe. Fourth
I
row.
don't know. That's Denny Ober.
Denny Obrick, Don Fortney,
Fortney.
Rick Gibson,
Who?
Hood Gibson, Jim Wright, and
And you, what a handsome guy that
oh,
is.
look at that guy.
Can you have a
You get-
picture of his feet?
Yeah,
Yeah. His feet.
Which one is he?
I'm from if next to top row, third one from the left of the guys. It's Lonnie Von Lincoln, Bob Taylor,
And the great one.
and Stud McNickney, I think was his nickname.
On the left?
Well, you're right.
Well, I'm
Oh.
look. I think I don't know if I'm looking at the same. Over here,
Yeah, no, the other way,
this
over
one?
there. Yeah. Next to last row, third guy in, right there.
There he is.
Oh, next to the last row.
Yeah. See, Von
Right there.
Lincoln, Bob Taylor.
Right here.
I wish
Yeah.
Bob Taylor would have made you jump.
Well, on the way to Arthur, he did. Top row then, left to right, is Tim Lemna,
Trucker Chris, Phil Chris.
Ronnie Chris, Mickey
Melton.
Melton, Mike Connor. Not sure, Jimmy Edmiston, Bobby
John
Jones,
Edmiston,
Johnny Edmiston,
Bobby Jones,
Bobby Jones, Mike Allen, Roy
Ziegler.
Bill Carson, slide it over a little bit, Steve Bear, slide it,
Oh, what a great
Steve Bear,
group.
and oh, come on, I know.
Oh, I don't know.
Now the girls are going to be a little tougher, but we can do them if you want. By the way, you'll notice this class is over 100 kids.
There's
Okay,
Nola.
okay. On the left, bottom left to right
Oh.
is Shirley Taylor, Barb Weber, maybe Angela Black, I'm not sure. Next row, girls, is
Porter. It's
Glenda.
a Porter on the
Could
end.
be
isn't it?
Porter. Next row, left to right, it looked like Glenda Cook. Not sure.
Joyce Thomas, maybe?
No.
I don't know.
Fourth one in is Sharon Rose,
Sharon Rose.
and Mary Toomey's at the last one. Next row up, left to right, is Patty Graham. No, that's Lucinda Clare.
That's Lucinda Clare. Yeah.
And Lyons,
Yeah.
Teresa Lyons. Going across there, it's blurry.
Carol Pierce, Carol Schroet is that one?
I don't know.
Pardon me. Looks like her.
Top row,
Well, that's that Thompson girl.
yeah. Her dad owned the gas station.
Mhm.
That Wish done.
Yeah. And then Nola
Nola
DeWinsey.
Winsing, Kathy Rice. Mike's beeping. Gotta check his blood sugar.
We beeping. Great class. Oh, that's
Look,
Janice Allen was at the end.
Go on down there. Slide over there.
There's Janice
Yeah,
Allen.
Janice Allen, one of the top students. That's Marcia Truitt at the very end right down here.
I think it is.
Over to the left. Let's go to the left a little bit. Okay, right there. Oh my gosh.
Well, I can't see her. It's Matheny, right?
I'm going to say the bottom row, third one in from the left is Linda Matheny.
Next to her is that Wilson, Linda Wilson.
Linda Wilson, and this is the other Wilson.
That's Carol.
Carol Wilson. Here is third from the end is Richie.
Sandy Ritchie.
Sandy Ritchie. If we go back up, second row, right to left is Pam Preston. House.
Oh, that's House. Yeah.
Marilyn House.
Marilyn House.
Not sure. Marsha Armstrong's the fourth one.
Oh, you remember this gal here? Man, what was her name?
Well, let's go to the fourth, third row up is Noble. Nancy Noble's the second one in.
Yeah, but that gal there was, she moved.
I know.
Kind of a looker.
All the way up to the top, right to left. Third one in is Brenda Cook. Fourth one, not sure. Next to last is Joyce Thomas, and then I think we have Nancy Norton all the way to the left. She was a salutatorian along with Joe Caldwell. Carnine's our valedictorian. Yeah, I was voted in this class right here. I was voted most likely to succeed. David, that's a pun. You're supposed to laugh at a pun.
That's him.
I was voted most likely to succeed.
I believed it.
My dad's succeed cornet decal, and they thought that's probably what I would do.
I wonder who got the old T off the curtain. They give that to museum.
Oh, I'm sure it's hanging somewhere.
I said that they should save that. That was over at the school for
But David,
years and years.
That's how big. That's the post-World War baby boom. These were all
Those are boomers.
born in 47. The war's over in 46, and nobody wasted any time when they got home. And this is 104 kids, I think. And I think the classes got even bigger for another 5-6 years. I think the high school got up to about 520 or 30 students.
I don't know what it.
We had about 100 in the class of 83.
Yeah.
Ended up a little more than 100, but that was the last of the baby boomers.
I think by 1972, they were at 500 and some students.
Yeah, they got real big.
Okay, that's driving Miss Daisy. That's Morgan Freeman on the left.
Who in the world is that?
You know, he's in a Cadillac. Looks like a 58, 59 Cadillac.
I see he's in front of the depot, so I originally thought maybe it was a porter for the train, but I think maybe he's a chauffeur.
Well, I think that's not the only person I know that used to get chauffeured around was St. Clair Helm. Grover. Who was it that Skinner drove to Champaign? Used to get.
Oh, Toomey used to driving too.
Was it Grover?
Grover Helm.
Grover.
But that's not Grover Helm.
No, I don't know who that is. I wonder if they go ahead. It's a wonderful picture.
Oh boy.
Oh, that on the right is Floyd Grubb,
Yep.
Tom Grubb, and
Gene Murray.
Floyd sold Buicks and Olds, I think. Gene Murray. On the left is Far left, I think, is Thompson, Warren, who was
It was Thompson.
not Warren's younger brother, Charlie.
Yeah, he was a character. I know that. That's
Clarence Connor,
Connor, Annette McCaney,
Annette McCaney.
Gene Murray.
Gene taught driver's ed, and Bucko taught me driver's ed. If I missed something, he just hauled off and slugged me.
Murray opened that car door and just ripped it off.
Yeah, yeah.
Marine Diva says, Fred Fair, middle and left, and Regina Manier, question mark.
No.
Well, Fred Fair would have been class of
No.
66.
Yeah,
This
this is
this
long before
this
that.
is class of 60.
Annette McCaney, I remember because she lived next to us on Buckner Street.
This is probably class of 63 or 4. There's the old North Ward.
Oh my goodness.
There are the torture seats that you had to set in. This is Bill's class.
Well, you know what?
There's Christine.
Yeah, there's Sue Ellen Christine, Judy Wright, Judy Ron sitting, and that's Jimmy Gay Patterson sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth one from the left in the front row is Jimmy Gay Patterson. Sue Ellen Christine's next to her. Judy Ron Wright is next to her.
Now, here's one that should be easy. Who's the guy we're looking on the back of his head?
The DA,
Yeah, Ducky Downs.
Jack Downs.
Taught art.
You're right.
He had a duck's ass haircut.
But behind Sue Ellen, that's Mark Teal.
Yeah, it is Mark.
And looky here. That's oh God.
Smith.
No, it's Kleiss.
Oh,
There's Carol Teeters next to her, and behind that's Mouse Cunningham.
yeah. So this is multiple classes.
Yeah, they just throw them all in there
This
together.
is your class.
Janice Moody said she sees Marilyn Kleiss and Carol Teeters, and Eric Fromm said Nick Flesser and Mike Cunningham behind them.
I don't see Nick.
Oh, Nick right there.
Oh, Nick's over to the, yeah. Nick's the third one in from the left on the third row, then Mouse Cunningham. We call him Mouse.
Mike Cunningham, Bill's younger brother.
And Marilyn,
Maryland's
that
the one,
is
two.
me by Carol, and is that Mark Teal beside me?
Yes, yes, it is. Maryland's the fourth one in from the left on the second row in the white blouse.
Sylvia, is it Mize? It says Mike Wellborn, fourth row, left side, right behind the person with the white circle on his head.
Right there.
Yeah, way back is Mike. You're right. That's a good.
You know what? If you go back in there,
You can pick him out.
yeah, that looks like Steve Bear.
Well, I was wondering if I had any classmates in
There's
there.
Ronnie Clapp.
Ronnie, can you blow that up in the back? And Gary, there's Roy Davis.
Yeah.
We think right back here, there's Lucenta Claire, Roy Davis, Ronnie Clapp. I'm probably back here. Go to the left a little bit more. That's Carnine. I think.
There's Miss Southern.
Janet Southern. She's got a firm grip on my neck. Yeah, there's Michael. Yeah, slide across there. Then I think that's our class also. Class of 65.
It's a mix. It's 65
Whoa, right
and
there.
66.
Whoa, stop right there. You got on the left, here's Ronnie Clapp. You've got Steve Bear in a white shirt waving.
Mhm.
Mike Connor, Bobby Ball, I think. You'll notice.
Who's it? Is this Carl Henning?
I think that's Carl Henning sat back there. You'll notice there's teachers everywhere planted around. There's a teacher. There's a teacher. It's like a terrorist watch group. Yeah. We were not to be. There's Mike Brinkley right in front of Ronnie Clapp. Is Mike Brinkley.
Mm-hmm.
Spit curl. Good old Mike.
That's,
Parents.
that's not Fred again, is it?
Where?
No,
There on the left? No.
No, that's
this is a class of 65 and
64.
66.
Yeah, that's 67, maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
You got
Could be about-
what you got here? CIA in the back here?
What's that?
Is that the CIA in the back? The dark black?
There was security everywhere. I think Ronnie Cooper put in a bomb threat or something. We were not to mess with back in 65.
No, those girls on the front row were mean.
We're class of 65, most dangerous class alive.
Oh, man. That's Jeanette Lindsay, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Check their feet.
Well, they don't have shoes on.
I figured you guys would know. I put
Well-
this picture in just for you guys.
It looks like Jeanette, but who's the other girl?
I thought it was Jane Rothgett, but I don't think it is.
Well, Jane was way ahead of Jeanette.
Well, a couple of years, just a year or two.
Well,
Jeanette was 64. Rothgett was 62, I think. Did you have any names on those two girls?
No,
Might have been a couple Hugo beauties. Well, that's when the Republicans came to town.
yeah.
yeah.
That was the parade for Nixon when he made the whistle stop.
Mm-hmm.
There's Linda Moore and Mary
Marianne
Ann
Holsty.
Holsty, Fred's sister. There's your barber's sister.
And you know what? No. It's been a couple of years ago. Linda Moore's sister, Diane, passed away.
Was in your class.
Yeah, in my class. And I went to the service at the cemetery. And guess what? Two girls were standing there. Those two.
Yeah.
And I talked to them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you, they were
Linda's down in
Good looking,
Arizona. Marcia
Graham.
Graham Strader and a gal from Hugo.
Jane Stevens.
Was that Jane Stevens? Bill, you lived above her.
Oh, man.
She lived upstairs.
Upstairs. Shoot. I was upstairs. She was downstairs. But I
Bill-
was with Andrea too.
Bill just got married,
Yeah.
and he was tempted right off the bat.
Oh, man. Yeah. Mrs. Stevens' daughter, Jane.
Chuck came up and tried to wrestle you to the ground.
Chuck was her brother, played on the football team.
Wrestled at U of I. I think he
Yeah,
became a real
Jane.
developer in Champaign.
Jane was a pretty girl.
Yes, she was. There's the Carl Court. He won everything. He was top drawer. That
That's Mrs. Court.
I think that's the whole family and grandparents.
Yeah, I think so.
He had a younger brother, Doug.
Yep.
Okay,
There you go.
there we go. Second from left is, of course, second and third one we've already seen.
Mhm.
Marianne Holsty and Linda Moore. And fourth one,
Teresa Wolf.
Teresa Wolf.
This is Janelle Patterson.
Janelle Patterson, the far right. We're not sure about the first one and the fifth one. Could be-
Sharon Cappy says Mary Ann Holsty, second left, Linda Moore. She says Trisha Wolf.
That's what we said, Teresa Wolf.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Question mark, Bob Utterback says
Teresa.
Judy Heckler.
Oh, I said Heckler could be Heckler. And you heard me. They played the tape back. I said Heckler, didn't I?
Sue Gavin says Juanita Hausman, Holsty, Moore, Wolf, Heckler, and
So
Janelle
Juanita
Patterson.
Hausman's the one you missed. Yeah, Judy Heckler. I thought she might have been in that class. Oh, there's Mary Ann doing her
Is
favorite.
that Marianne?
Well, let me look. It's either Mary Ann or Nita Bozarth.
Sharon
I
Cappy
don't-
says Mary Ann Holsty.
Mary Ann, I think it's Mary Ann. Yeah,
Didn't we see that picture?
well,
Isn't that Kitty Kish?
well, look down there at those spikes, those shoes, see?
Yeah.
You-
I think this is a repeat. Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes
Well,
in an envelope, there's more than one
Well,
negative.
Let me
thing.
just-
It's worth
Let me just say
repeating.
this, you can never show Kitty too many times. Yeah, that's where Kitty lived.
I think this is Camargo.
The old elevator at Camargo.
Near the railroad tracks.
I hauled corn out of there.
Yeah.
My clue was this sign over here. It says Camargo Lodge.
Yeah,
Well, that's some
That's a good
evidence.
one.
It's not conclusive. It's inferential.
yeah.
That looks like Susan Nuccio, second from left.
It's Karen Oaks on the far right.
Susan Nuccio, second from left. We should know that smile. We should know that one.
Those are the two names that I had help with.
Well, that's close enough.
Tammy Neal on the right. Tamara Neal. Susan Rankin, or Rankin, Sandy Rankin on the left. And is that Sherm's daughter?
Sharon Marsh.
Sharon
Sharon
Marsh.
Marsh.
I have to look. I suppose it is. Tammy Neal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I dated all three of them one time.
One time.
I took Sharon over to the teak house in Milliken for a date.
Oh.
Okay, now here we
boy,
go.
Here we
Here
are.
we go.
Lifeguards.
Lifeguards. Nita Bozarth on the right, Jimmy Fortney, Marsha Graham. Is that Jerry Snyder?
Looks like him. Man, look at it. Brain. Jiminy.
I don't know who the last guy is. That Polig, Jim Polig?
I don't have
Can't
any.
tell.
With son
Oh, yeah.
there. Oh, there's a street sweeper behind him.
More Republicans. Do you remember the name of the street sweeper in Tuscola? We had
Clyde
one, David.
Hadaball.
Clyde Hadaball.
Clyde Hadaball. Great guy.
Riley's Cafe.
Clyde the Glide.
Yep.
So this would have been Sale Street.
Yeah, going west.
See the old elevator, the way it
Yeah.
was?
Yeah, it's a lot different. And Gamble's was on the north side. I remember it being on the other side of the street.
Well, it was on both sides.
All right, different times. Riley's Cafe.
Not at the same time, they would have competed with themselves.
Right. This is
Stupid.
Mhm.
that's the building I used to own.
Jim's pool room. See?
Jim Huser. Jim Huser used to run the pool room back about then, 58, 59.
Mhm.
Probably my dad's best friend.
That's-
Loaned him money when the cards were cold.
Oh, I see. By the stop sign, the guy standing by.
Yeah, yeah.
That's Dwayne Bruce.
Dwayne Bruce
He was an insurance man. Real nice fellow.
lived right next door to me on Beck and I lived in the Doc Deaver house, fixed it up. Dwayne was to the west with his wife, who was a teacher. What was Mrs. Bruce's first name? Taught grade school.
Can't remember now.
There's Bobby. The guy in the little hat
Bob
in the back
Stout.
is Bobby Stout.
Yeah. Bob came to town to watch the elephants.
Yeah.
You got the Hotel Douglas, you got Anderson's, you got Pettit Studio back here.
That's
Yeah.
a nice shot.
That's a great shot there.
Old skyline back about 58, 59.
Those elephants are kind of like us. We just keep hanging on. Looks like. Yeah.
Is that Amos
Yeah.
right here?
No. Not enough hair.
Well,
Danny Matthews says, Neil Oakley, is that your dad in the white jacket? Daryl Rich says it does look like him.
But that's not Jack Oakley. Jack Oakley was taller than
that looks like Jack. If anybody looks like Jack.
It looks like Jack, but it's not. I
Huber
can
says
tell.
Rudy Huber says it's Jack, Mrs. Wilhelm to the right, maybe.
Well, it is
Yeah.
Okay, not
Mrs.
Jack.
Mrs. Wilhelm,
That's Mrs. Wilhelm.
all far right with glasses.
Yeah.
Could be.
That's probably Joe Wilhelm standing next to her.
Jack was about 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah.
And it's funny, Kevin Connor says, kind of looks like him, but I think your dad was taller.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
We knew everybody's date of graduation, their height and weight, and as concerned certain girls, we knew the shoes they wore.
Yeah. Shoe size.
There we go. Here we have the dancing cowgirls
This is coming south, looking south on Main Street,
heading north.
heading north.
And that's Mary Ann on the left is Tricia Wolf, Linda Moore, and Janelle Patterson. And look at that band. Go back on that band a little bit. Look at those uniforms and everything. What a band. And slide to the right a little bit and you
You
see,
can
a
see
50,
all the way down to the old,
there you go. Right there is a 57 Ford.
and on the right, Mills Drug
Mills
Store.
Drugs.
Those drugs,
Great shot.
the bank
On the
where the
left.
vault is now.
Zero in on that sign on the left here. What was that right there, Bill?
Can't read it.
Eventually, it was Dr. Baker's office,
Right.
optometry. And I see the Masonic Lodge emblem over there. See on top of, what do we call those?
That was a
buildings
Star
now?
Store. It was a Star Store.
And see the top's gone.
It became
Yeah.
the pharmacy.
Right, that second floor is gone. The building's still
Yeah.
there, but minus it. And this building in the back's no longer there. You talked about that.
No, that's
That was the Lamb building. I was just talking to Richie Lamb the other day. That was his dad's building, the Lamb building. And then on the west edge, west half of it was Dunn's Drug.
Mhm.
And the other side, you can see the top of the old church that burned.
Yeah,
Bill went
Presbyterian
to
Church.
church there. When he left, it went downhill.
There you go.
They missed all your,
Holy smokes.
well,
Danger, keep back.
that's a rescue lion.
That's right there at the corner of Gus's.
Yeah. That's back when we had some parades.
Okay, let's see if we can identify some of these kids. Well, that one kid, maybe not. Sometimes we see people we know. Hey, looking down the street, a Tuscola National Bank sign. But if you look all the way down the street, you see the standard sign, gas station. That's O.B. Smith's gas station.
When I was in college in 68, 69, it was Francis Duensing, and Bill and I used to meet there. Dusinger. And we used to meet there and have chocolate yoo-hoo drinks.
So this bank building for people watching is where Joe's Pizza is now.
Look upstairs. They used to have offices upstairs back when people used to walk upstairs.
That was a loan office thing.
Right, Seaboard Finance.
Yeah.
I think it's residential now.
Yeah, it's by Talon's
There's the
apartment.
57 Ford we can see down there. Same
Yeah, that's
kind of
a
shot.
Ford. Those were the good old days.
What's the car doing driving down the street when a parade of elephants coming by?
Well, it's, you know,
Where's the police?
he was in a
control?
hurry.
Where's Jack Wellens at?
And Western Auto was where the Star Store was. Again,
Yep.
the second floor is gone. When I was a kid, Western Auto was where Kelsey's Furniture is in that area.
Right.
Yeah,
Higgins.
yeah. I was Higgins.
Jim and Kay.
And you can see over here, Mills Drugs was a Walgreen agency and also a Greyhound station.
Well, when I was in high school, my senior year was Macula's clothing, and across the street was Carpenter's clothing. We had good clothing stores in Tuscola.
Yeah.
Never had to leave town. Gene Carpenter and Tracy, wonderful people.
You know, I was thinking about this yesterday doing this show, David. That's something that we had. No wonder we were landlocked, so to speak. We didn't go out of town very often.
No,
If you did, it was on a weekend or a special occasion, but you shopped at home because everything was at home.
yep.
And you have everyone.
Tuscola was self-sufficient.
Yeah,
Well, there's that Hausman,
same group.
Mary Holsty, Linda Moore, Tricia Wolf, and Judy Heckler and Janelle Patterson. I don't recognize the Boy Scouts.
You don't recognize them?
No,
Well, that's Glenn Pugh.
those
We
girls-
identified that picture.
those girls were all class of 63.
Yeah.
And there's Bill's first bicycle, training wheels,
Training wheels.
Do you recognize the guy?
Grand Theater, and that looks like Hop Connor.
That's
That's
Hop.
Hop Connor. Hoppy.
Hop's got a medal on his hat there. He's fixing that bike for some kid, undoubtedly.
Yeah, one of his kids or grandkids.
Oh, and it's right next to the Strand.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
this is
right
Strand
there.
Theater.
That's where
Back when you could park your bike and nobody would steal it.
That's right.
57.
This is where the newspaper office is now.
Yeah.
This Young's Electric is where
Young's Electric was there in the
that's
60s.
where the vacuum sweeper repair.
Yeah, somebody said that the kid who runs that was on
TV.
national TV.
Yeah, he was years ago.
He could identify the vacuum cleaner by the sound of it.
Huh.
Did you know that, David? He was on, what was
I
he
didn't.
on?
I
He
did
was
not
on
know
there
that,
like
but I
Johnny
do know
Carson or something. And
They
he was
actually
in
had him
my
stand there,
wife's.
they had him blindfolded and they would start up different vacuum cleaners and he would name them.
yeah,
He was in my wife's kindergarten class, and she said he was taking apart vacuum sweepers and putting them back together at that age.
yes.
Well, I wish he had been here about 40 years ago when we had vacuum cleaners.
What do you use now?
Well, now you get central vac in new homes, or they have these plug-in electric models you just throw away and buy a new one every couple of years. Do you have any vacuum cleaners you take down and get fixed?
Not the old style.
We did have
I did have an electro one.
Mark Petty and I had, there's a one vacuum cleaner I want to mention. Mark Petty and I had a divorce one time.
You and
the
Mark
couple-
are divorced?
Well, he was a lawyer and I was a lawyer.
Okay.
But we've been divorced many times, but
Yeah.
it was a ferocious fight. They agreed on everything, David, everything, all kinds of complicated stuff about the dogs and the house and the value of stuff. The one thing they got in a big fight over at the very end was a rainbow vacuum cleaner.
Huh.
And the guy offered like 1,000. She wouldn't take it. She offered him 1,500. Penny and I said, we have got to go get a rainbow vacuum cleaner. Whatever. We have no idea. It's either the best vacuum cleaner in the world or it had some
Well, that-
special value
I have to
to it.
remember that. That's because we have a Dyson.
Yeah. Well, what's rainbow? I've never seen one.
I don't know.
Bob Taylor's probably home yelling at us what a rainbow vacuum cleaner is.
We had mother had an Electrolux 50th anniversary. It was a grand
Yeah.
model, you know.
Yeah.
We had that for a number of years, but no, we've got a Dyson now.
Hoover, the thing about vacuum cleaners that I think has really hurt them is you have to plug them in and you're constantly flipping this 40-foot cord. These electrics, you charge up the battery and you just take off.
Yeah, we've got one of those that's battery plugs in to the charger. But when I was a kid, we had a broom.
Well, broom vacuum cleaner was a very good vacuum cleaner.
That was
And
You
it
just
does
broom
fan.
and a dustpan.
It's pretty hard to broom a carpet, though. I've
But
tried it.
we had hardwood floors.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I do think these electrics aren't as powerful as the old vacuum cleaner. Some of those things could pull your carpet off the floor.
Oh yeah, I've got one at home. I've got a Dyson at home that would pull your carpet.
When I started losing hair, I'd run it over and just get the loose stuff out.
Yeah.
Well, David, those were wonderful pictures.
Yeah, we enjoyed
You did
that.
a great job. And once again, I don't think 90% of those ever saw the light of day until you
Yeah, probably not.
pulled them out of a pocket and digitized it. That's the one. I'm not the world's biggest fan of digitization, but this is one thing that I was a photography nut when I was young, and you had to buy film, and every time you took a shot, it better be a good shot because it was costing you for the film and developing.
Right.
Now you slip a little memory card in there that holds 655,000 pictures, and you can take 20 shots of one thing and hope one of them's good. It doesn't cost you a cent. Everything's changed.
David, I think it was amazing. You know, Mike got once again, he got 100%. I got about 35%.
Well, I tried to help you.
Yeah. It always works out.
Well, Bill actually, I think, and I'm saying this in all honesty, he's getting better. I think his memory's getting better.
Yeah.
Did you know I'm really proud of Becky passing her dementia test?
Yeah.
She had
She
every
did that with those.
one of her classmates.
Well, all I'll say is she knew every one of those boys.
Well, by their shoes. If Kitty's listening,
Which she's not.
She may be because I know she comments on the photos and she sent me a friend request on Facebook.
yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, so I am friends with Kitty on Facebook.
Oh,
Well,
gee, man.
Tell her the big guy said hi.
That might get Mike to join Facebook.
Well, I don't know. I did. Bill Kleiss showed me. Bill Kleiss went to school with Kitty, and in fact married Bert, Kitty's sister. And we talked a lot about the Kish family, but he showed me how you could go on to Google somehow, Google Earth. And we went out to Washington, D.C.
Up, you froze up. So I guess I'll sign off since you guys are frozen, and we'll see you next week on Remembering Tuscola. All right, Mike was frozen mid-sentence. You went on Google satellite
whatever it's called. Bill Clay showed me how to do it. And we went to Washington, D.C., where Kitty Keish owns a lot of real estate. And we actually found her, Bill had her address from her union. We actually found her 3-story brownstone, whatever you call it, townhouse downtown, Georgetown, wherever. And we actually went to the front, the back, the side. And I tried to knock on the door and look in the window, but I guess there's limitations to the technology.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jim Huser keeps me informed about her. Jimmy was a classmate and a good friend.
So,
Yeah, everybody has their Sandra D moment in high school, grade school, and she was my Sandra D. Who was your Sandra D?
Back then?
No, right now. What do you mean? What the hell? Who was your Sandra D moment? Right now?
Well, I like Sophia Loren.
Well, yeah, gee, Merry Christmas. I'm talking about somebody you can see their shoes as they walk by.
yeah,
How about Bridget Bardot?
I had the Farrah Fawcett poster.
Well, that was a good poster. Yeah, that was right up there with the top posters of the year.
Honestly, from high school,
Grade school, 8th grade. Did you have a crush on any high school girl? 7th, 8th grade.
well, they were all special. Wow.
Good answer, Bill.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Beck.
My wife, the peanut gallery up there is yelling at her all special.
I was gonna say,
I actually had a crush in the 8th grade. I had a crush on Becky Cagley.
if
If you're gonna listen, that's what I'm gonna say.
you ask me, but you haven't, so
I want to ask you, who was your Sandra D moment?
who wasn't?
Well, you said, yeah. Yeah. The top 50% were beautiful and the bottom 50% were fantastic. Yeah, God's the best thing he ever did on earth was making a woman.
All right. Anything else?
Well, David, once again, I can't tell you how much we appreciate. I know this extra work, you don't get paid for it. This is a wonderful thing you're doing. I hope the people, you have quite a following, don't you, on
We got over 4,000 members on Remembering Tuscola.
yeah. Well, I'm sure people from that era, we saw 59 stuff there. A lot of people passed away. 62, 63. I'm sure they look at those pictures and it's just wonderful. Bill and I get a kick out of it. That's why Bill and I do this and donate our salary back
Yeah,
to animal shelter.
Yeah, that's right.
right.
I think it shows just how tight knit it was back then in the community because we knew these kids, even though they were older.
Well, Bill made the comment, and he's right, that for the longest time, Tuscola was self-sufficient. All small towns were self-sufficient. Newman had a thriving downtown.
We had 3 grocery stores.
Yeah, you could do everything. And we had Rosie Claire, if you can't find it on the floor, it's on the wall. If you can't find it on the wall, you don't need it. But I think it was in the 60s. I know my parents, when I was in high school, my mom loaded us up and went to Terre Haute because they had a big box store down there to buy clothes discount.
Mm.
And then Robus and Lewis's came along in the 60s, probably the 50s. And then the big box stores came along, and all of a sudden the interstate highway came. We only had 1 car in the family. Now you drive around Tuscola, they got 5 cars up in the yard.
Oh,
everybody had a car.
Yeah.
Open road, Jack Kerouac in the open road. And so all of a sudden, we were no longer tied to the small town life. It all changed.
So I would venture to say that most kids do not know, like we knew,
Downtown Tuscola
class was ahead of them.
No, and we didn't know the classes that close. And number 2, downtown Tuscola was a big deal.
Yep.
In the
When did
50s.
when did I-57 come in?
Well, I remember in between my junior and senior year, they were building the interstate, and Tim Lemon and I set out the labor hall up there with Pete Wireman trying to get a job out there. So I'd say 64, 65.
I know that I had classmates, Rick Kahneman and Butch Dietrich used to go up and
we
skateboard.
I did.
Did you do that?
I skateboarded on the Pasodum interchange. There was no cars, but they had the interchange built, and we would skateboard down that big circle.
So when you were in high school, there's no interstate, no I-57, probably no color TV, no microwaves.
I tried.
But they had these pointed shoes with spike heels.
Yeah.
So you had nothing to do but focus on the girls.
Well, I think that was okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Paul?
Oh, it kept me healthy.
Your dad threw a wrench at you and told you to quit thinking about it. Didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He did. Monk said, "Get your mind off of that."
Yeah, it was enough.
They said build a military school, just trying to straighten him out. I don't. Did it work?
Then I came home.
Did you came home?
We didn't get color TV till the 70s. I mean,
I
color
remember
TV had been
Well,
around a
people
while,
didn't
but
have TV.
Yeah.
There were still people that didn't have TVs.
I remember our first TV. I was a young kid. Was a little Philco, black and white, probably the size of this, smaller than this computer screen, and you'd have to
Rabbit ears.
hold the rabbit ears and move them around, and then the
Yeah.
vertical horizontal was like
Oh, it drive you nuts.
it was like doing a brain surgery, you know.
we didn't have cable TV till the 80s. And so we had a TV tower attached to our house, and
Yeah.
sometimes you have to climb up the tower and manually adjust the antennas.
Yes. Most houses had these big tall towers, and or what my dad did was you took some old box springs, the metal part of them of a mattress, you burned it off and kept the springs and went upstairs in the attic and ran a wire to it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you put aluminum foil over the rabbit ears.
Yeah.
So aluminum foil. And sometimes my dad put aluminum foil over my head, maybe hold the rabbit ears with aluminum
Yeah.
foil.
Sometimes you'd have
I
to
don't know
have
why. And
somebody
I
hold.
got hit by lightning 2 or 3 times doing
You'd
that.
have to hold the rabbit ear, and you'd have to stand there and hold it.
Yeah.
Picture wouldn't come in.
Did your dad ever make you put aluminum foil over your head though to get better reception?
No, we had a tower, so
Yeah.
You were lucky.
You were lucky. But I had to stand on the roof with my hand in the air with aluminum foil. I got hit 3 or 4 times with lightning, but we did get good reception.
And now we know what the problem is.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hats off to all the girls from the 50s and 60s. They were all beautiful.
That's why we knew their names.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful kids.
All right.
And, thanks, David. We once again, for all you do for Tuscola, thank you.
Thanks,
We'll
David.
sign off a second time here. We'll see you next week.
Okay.